everyone, my name is Max and this is my desk setup. So last time I posted a video I was still at my parents' house, and since then obviously I moved back down to campus for my senior year of school, and this is my productivity setup where I try and be productive but always end up scrolling through Reddit and Instagram instead. It took me a while to kind of get it set up, but I'm finally happy with how both my desk and the room as a whole is set up. So let's give you guys a tour. Let's get started. Alright, first up is the desk itself. So I got pretty much the entire desk from IKEA. So I got two Gurdon tabletops, which I believe are birchwood. I got two Alex drawers, and I got two trestles. I believe it's like the Finvald and the Oddvald, or Finvard and Odd, whatever. I'll have links in the description for everything. For the tabletops, the Gurdons, they come unfinished, so I had to sand them down, and I put 2 coats of a triple coat water-based polyurethane matte finish on it. I believe I had a Varathane one, and I think it turned out really well. I do still have the issue where if I have like a cup or something that's like got condensation, or if I like drop water on it and I let it sit for a while, it will pull up the finish and kind of like be sticky for a while. I use coasters on my desk instead, or just use my mouse mat as another coaster, and I haven't really had any issues since, and I think it looks pretty beautiful. Next up are my 2 monitors. So my main display is a 4K Asus PG27AQ, and my vertical one is a Dell U2412M. So that one's actually 1920 by 1200, and then this one's obviously 4K. I really like the setup. 4K one obviously is my main one. It's got the 4K for my 4K editing and video editing. And then I use the vertical one more so for writing code or reading longer articles, or just like having like Spotify open on the side, anything like that. And so I think from a productivity standpoint, this is my go-to setup. Now you can't see it, but it's powered by my desktop down here. Specs will be in the description. Main thing is I have a 3700X and a 1080 Ti. Now we have my newest pride and joy, my mechanical keyboard. So this is the Ducky 12SF white version. I think it looks pretty clean, and pretty much I just got this because I didn't need the whole number pad and like the dedicated F keys. I've never used F keys in my life. I feel like as a programmer I should maybe like have them programmed to do things like macros or something, but I don't see the use for that besides, what is it, like F3, force quit, when people play games, they'll like say spam F3. But yeah, so this works perfect. I still have the dedicated arrow keys, which I do use all the time, so that's great, and I still have the delete page up and page down, which I also use. Also got a custom cable. I think just since I'm gonna have it on my desk and I want my desk to look nice, figured, you know, might as well get a fancy cable for it. Now for my mouse, this is a SteelSeries Sensei. Didn't really put much effort into it like I did my keyboard. I first got it in high school when I used to game a lot, and it broke like a year ago. So instead of like researching mouses, I just went ahead, bought a new one of the same kind. I realize now the logic is flawed. Like if it broke, I should have probably found like a new one that won't break, but it's too late now. And then I've got just a SteelSeries keyboard mat. And then we also have a Wacom drawing tablet. It's an Intuos Pro S, small version. Got it refurbished. You can actually tell, probably can't tell, like it's like a little bit bent, but I don't really mind, and it was cheap. I use this for Photoshop, a little bit in Lightroom, but mostly for Photoshop. It just helps to be able to, you know, unplug it, put it here, grab the pen, and just draw, because a lot of times in Photoshop I'm like doing like masking or something like that, which with a mouse is a pain to do. So just having this to do those things makes life so much easier for me. Another highlight of my desk are the speakers. So I have a pair of U4 by Kanto, and they sound great. And the great thing is that they're self-powered, so I don't need an amp for them. And they also have Bluetooth connectivity built into them. So I have it like hardwired into both my computer from my turntable, and then when I want to play stuff from my phone, I can just connect over Bluetooth. And there's also a handy remote, that lets me easily switch between the different modes, turn up the volume, the bass, the treble, the balance, whatever, pause, skip, go backwards. Great. I've had them for 2 or 3 years now, maybe more, and yeah, haven't even thought about replacing them. Everything I've looked at so far has been the left half of my desk, which is like where I spend 90% of my time. My computer, I have a little bit of space where I can like write down with my notebook and just pull it over, use it there. But this is the right half of my desk, the second desk. So here I have my turntable. This is an Audio-Technica AT-LP60. It's got a big crack right over the top, but it still works, so I have no desire to replace it yet. I honestly don't use it too often. Sometimes I feel like just listening to a whole album and I will, but it works. I know it's cheap, it's an entry model, but like I said, I don't really listen to my albums enough to really justify buying a new one. We've also got my 3D printer. I just recently got this. It's an Ender 3 Pro, and so far I've only been doing some like prints for like accessories on it. I did this with my first print, a little dog, but I have some ideas. I have some other ideas for how I can incorporate this into some projects. And I think too, it's just kind of sick to have a 3D printer. Like, who doesn't want a 3D printer? Everyone does. Duh. So yeah, I got it. It's also, for the price, crazy. I think I got it for $230 from Micro Center. So if you have a Micro Center near you, definitely see if they have it, because you cannot beat this 3D printer for $230. Also, so Australian flag, context, I studied abroad in Australia. I'm not Australian, as you can obviously tell from the accent, but you know, once you study abroad, you gotta tell everybody that you studied abroad, so here it is. Something I also forgot over on that side of the desk are my headphones and the headphone stand. They're Audio-Technica M50Xs. Had these, again, probably 8 years now. Got them in high school, and I honestly barely use them now. I use either my AirPods or just my speakers if I am listening to music. But when I do video editing and stuff, or like I need them on for longer periods of time, I will actually plug them in, put them over my ear, kind of like get into the zone. They do also help if I'm like doing like a long coding session. Again, put them over the ear. You can't hear anything else, so you won't get distracted. And just play some music that gets you in the zone, and you'll code for far too many hours. Last but not least, we have my plant babies. I have 6 of them right now. I have this guy, which is a jade plant, or well, a jade tree. It's a bonsai tree. I have this pot over here, which is my assorted succulent plant. It's got 2 cacti and 2 succulents. It had a split rock plant, but it died because I didn't know that you're only supposed to water them like once every few months, and the succulents need to be watered more than that. I'm a little worried about the cacti, but whatever, we'll get into that. I've got this, it's an ivy. I forget what kind it was, but yep. Then I've got 3 guys over here. I have the money tree plant, again, another bonsai. I have just an aloe vera like succulent, and then I have just like a little normal succulent. I don't know what it is. It's green. It's fluffy. Not fluffy. It's succulent. Hey, me again. A few days later, I'm just now recording the conclusion for this, but just kind of wanted to recap. I have a lot of wires and stuff tucked away in my drawers that I didn't cover because if I did, you know, there's a lot of them. They're in drawers for a reason. I don't want it to be cluttered. And yeah, I just really hope that you all enjoy the look of my new setup. I know I'm loving it, especially when it is around sunset time. I get a nice golden hour coming in. And again, there will be links to everything I've purchased in the description, so please feel free to check it out. I know this video is a little different than the last few. It's not a CS or like coding project, but I hope you guys still liked it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.